Possible to a degree with just your darkest black to get every single tone, in my opinion, with me just changing the technique I use, which is largely going to be the distance I allow the needles to hit the skin. Right, so if I want to get a really light tone, you've actually got, as you know, you've got dark, medium, down to light. So you could just dip straight in light. But if I want to get a really light tone, right, I'm back and forth, and sometimes I'm actually missing it. And every now and then, it's going to hit, but it's going to be super light, and it's going to build up to the point that when I pull it away, you can hardly even see it. Okay? So it's one way you can get really light tone, or you can actually dip straight in a light tone. But now with shading, this is obviously what we're going to do in this square. There's lots of ways really, but the way I would be teaching really is I want to be pulling back and forward, right? Backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. And as I go over it, it's going to build up saturation, which is essentially how much I get in the skin. It's the saturation. You have to really saturate it. Okay. So now that's sort of one way. Now, say I'm up against the line here, and I want to shade away from the line. Sometimes I'm going to come in like this, and I'm going to push off the line like that. So I'm sort of going to come in, find my needles close to the line. Sometimes I go up like this just to find, and then I'm sort of like touching in the same way that you're sort of touching before you start your line. I might just sort of touch in, okay, and then I'm like pushing, I suppose. Yeah, I'm like pushing away. This is more sort of like a traditional style technique, because with traditional, you're almost looking to get those whips.
Whips, yeah, or chopping.
Yeah, it's like a choppiness, right? So it's to exaggerate, I'm chopping like this, right? When I pull that away, when I wipe that away, you're going to see one is a bit more smoother. This is quite choppy, right? So now again, if I'm going something very dark to light, and I want it to be really dark up against this line, and as it comes away from the line, it's going to get lighter. I'm going to go in more like I'm packing. So I'm going to go in, and I'm going to be slow circles to get that in dark. It's going to go in dark. If I'm going slow, small circles, it's going to go dark. And then as I want to get lighter, I can flick out like that, yeah? Coming out to create like a gradient. So you see how dark that is now, yeah? So that's one way I can create gradient. So, and as I say, another way is just simply the amount I'll layer it. Okay, so if I want to go like create dark to light, so if I want to go darker, I'm going to be a bit deeper and a little bit more meaningful in my strokes. And if I want to go lighter, just again less deep, and then again less deep again. And I would say that, yeah, I noticed this with a 4. It's harder to get the shading smoother, but to a degree you can see here, dark, medium, light, all with the same tone. But you're going to find that easier with the other tones. So obviously if you can liken this to somebody's face, I would be working these ranges based on, you know, if it's dark at the top, I'm building up, and then I'm smoothing out, but I'm going to be dipping into my different inks as well, right? So this shading part is for you to have a go at literally just playing with this, like back and forth, trying to build up a nice, smooth, soft shade.